We know that video evidence can be extremely powerful. Seeing and hearing what's going on can often take you to a place that just testifying about it or showing a picture just can't do. So, the question we're going to talk about, or the issue we're going to talk about today, is submitting video evidence in your custody case. Hi, I'm Alycia Kinchloe, the owner of Kinchloe Law, a family law practice based in the Philadelphia area. Now, when it comes to video evidence in a virtual hearing, sometimes it can be very difficult. Now, I'm not going to talk today about getting the evidence admitted. That can be somewhat technical. There is factors in terms of authentication of the document, or sorry, of the video itself, which is basically proving that it is authentic, that it hasn't been altered or edited in any way. And sometimes you may need an expert depending on how strict your judge is and how much they adhere to the rules. Sometimes in family court, the rules can be a little bit more relaxed and they will allow in types of evidence that may not be allowed in other courts of law, for example, in criminal courts. But with that aside, when it comes to the way that a lot of courts are handling cases right now, which is virtual, you need to understand how the video is going to come across in that medium or in that forum and understand what you need to do to get it ready for that forum. So in Philadelphia County, we're often using Ring Central, which looks a lot like Zoom. In Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, we're using Zoom. Some of the other counties are actually in person or handling their cases in person, or they may be using other platforms to host their court hearings. So you need to understand the particular platform you're using and understand how the video evidence is going to be displayed. And you may be able to do this by actually getting an account with this particular platform. If you don't already have a Zoom account or a Ring Central account, they're fairly inexpensive to be able to get access to and to be able to use and practice with. And generally, I ask my clients to practice using Ring Central. We try to log on and communicate a little bit with it so that when the day of the hearing comes, it runs smoothly. Same thing with Zoom. You want to be able to get onto Zoom, understand how it works, and how your videos are going to look. Now, you want to speak with an attorney licensed in your state about the facts specific to your case, about how to present your evidence, how to get it over to the judge, and what the judge expects. Now, some judges have different ways for getting their evidence to them, whether it's video, photographs, text messages, or any other document. So you want to know exactly what your judge expects from you in terms of submitting video evidence and all other forms of evidence. Sometimes you can get this information by reading the local rules, which again probably don't address the current times, so the Ring Central or the Zoom hearings. Some judges will send out notices that will explain what you need to do with regards to evidence, when you need to have it in, how you're supposed to submit it. Some judges ask you to upload documents to folders, private folders, like a SharePoint folder. And then at the time of the hearing, you'll be able to go to that folder, or the judge will be able to go to that folder, or someone in their courtroom, and pull down the documents or the evidence that you're looking for at the time you're using it. That takes a little bit of getting used to as well. At times, the judge may also ask you to submit the evidence ahead of the hearing. So they can expect you to actually hand deliver the documents that you plan on using. And they may also ask you, because video evidence can't really be taken and placed into a file. So often video evidence, unlike photographs, have to actually be put onto a USB drive that can actually be kept with a file. So that's why, again, it's important for you to understand exactly what the judge expects, in addition to how the evidence is going to be used. So if you plan on using your evidence, your video evidence, for impeachment purposes, sometimes you're not actually pulling it up in your direct examination. You're pulling it up when the other person happens to mention something that relates to that. Again, impeachment evidence is somewhat technical. And again, you can speak to your attorney about this and what that means. But generally, it's when the other person has undergone cross-examination and you're trying to show that maybe something they have said isn't true. And sometimes you do that through the use of evidence, documents, or video to show otherwise. So that's a little bit of what it looks like when you're using video evidence. Again, you want to remember that what's important and what is key here is that just because one judge did it one way doesn't mean the other judge is going to do it the same way. You want to know what your judge expects. You want to know this information well ahead of your hearing so that you can prepare your evidence in the best way. And you want to speak with an attorney licensed in your state about the facts specific to your case to make sure you're doing what you can so that when it gets to that ever important date that you've been waiting for to argue your case in court, things go as smoothly as possible. All right, if you have comments about submission of video evidence, if you have comments about other topics you would like us to cover on these videos, please put them below. Make sure you hit subscribe and hit the little notification bell so that every time we drop a new video on custody, divorce, or support, you get a little notification. All right, until next time, take care.